Alright, so now we're going to do an overview of fungi. Fungi are the closest relatives of animals. They come in all shapes and sizes. All fungi are heterotrophic eukaryotes that feed by external digestion. This process of external digestion is known as being saprophytic. So they spray out digestive enzymes on the surface of something, break it down externally, and then absorb the nutrients. Fungi have unique reproductive cycles. Unlike plants and animals, the diploid stage may be brief. A fungus is more than meets the eye. A mushroom is only the fruiting body of a fungus. But underground are extensive networks of thread-like filaments called hyphae. Not all fungi produce mushrooms, but if they do, this is what the mushroom looks like. Underneath the cap of the mushroom are all of these gills, and from within the gills arise the spores. So the spores will kind of drop out, and then they will go and spread in the environment to try to plant into the ground and grow into another mold organism. If you think about it, many mushrooms are poisonous. And they're poisonous because of the life cycle of the mushroom. This is the reproductive structure of the mushroom. If we eat the reproductive structure of the mushroom, this mold organism wants to be able to decompose something that's dead. So if it can kill you, then its babies will have an unlimited food supply in your dead carcass, which sounds pretty brash, but that's the whole goal of mushrooms, is to decompose and produce new mushroom or mold organisms. Now, why don't we die when we eat the seeds of fruit? Well, plants have a different goal. What plants want you to do is they want you to eat their fruit so that the seeds pass through your digestive tract, and then you will poop out the seeds in a bed of fertilizer. So all of the undigested food material contains a lot of fertilizer for that developing seed. So if you were a deer and you come along and eat an apple, you're going to consume the seed of that apple. The seed's going to pass through you, and it's going to be dropped in the environment along with all of the deer poop along with it so that it can be fertilized. Provided nutrients to. So all of that will support the growth of the developing fruit organism, which will turn into a tree or a plant of some sort. But with the case of mushrooms, mushrooms are decomposers, so they prefer to decompose an organism that's dead instead of growing into a new plant organism in the environment. Hyphae. So hyphae are the filaments that you see. If you've ever had moldy bread or moldy food in your fridge or something like that, all of those thread-like fuzzy filaments, those are hyphae. The mycelium is an aggregated clump of hyphae. So where it's the most dense, that's what the mycelium is called. Hyphae also aggregate into a fruiting body, such as this mushroom. But like I said, not all fungi produce mushrooms. As the mycelium absorbs nutrients, the fruiting body produces spores, and the spores are microscopic reproductive cells. Spores germinate into new hyphae. So this figure summarizes the typical life cycle of a fungus. So the spores will turn into hyphae, they aggregate into a mycelium, and they may develop into a fruiting body, which produces more spores. Spores are either produced sexually or asexually. Sexual reproduction of spores is pretty rare. Asexual reproduction is more common. Asexual spores are called conidia. Hyphae can produce conidia by mitosis.